Deep inside a glowing crystal cave, our tiny super rhino hero faces 10 mysterious challenges for a giant apple. He takes a brave breath, cape fluttering softly, as the long path of trials stretches out before him. The rhino steps toward a narrow floating stone bridge above a shining abyss, feeling the ground tremble beneath his hooves. He tests the first stone, pulls back in panic as it wobbles, ears twitching, heart pounding but unwilling to quit. He squints at the stones, noticing a pattern big then small, and smiles, realizing the bridge follows a steady rhythm. He steps in perfect tempo, hoof after hoof, matching the pattern, while glowing mist swirls safely far below his path. A stone suddenly dips, but he quickly shifts sideways, sliding past danger as his red cape whips dramatically in the air. Reaching solid ground, he beams proudly and turns ahead, where the next challenge waits beyond shadowy rocks and glowing crystals. The camera glides over the bridge and reveals a gigantic stone door carved with animals and shining apple symbols. The rhino stands before the towering stone door, tracing its glowing carvings, wondering how to unlock this ancient rocky guardian. He presses a random stone symbol and jumps when a loud bowing echoes, dust sprinkling onto his mask and snout. He taps different door spots, listening carefully as deep, medium, and high echoes match the carved rhino, monkey, and bird. Smiling, he presses rhino, monkey, bird, then the apple in a musical sequence, letting the echoes form a playful melody. Symbols glow bright, the stone cracks gently apart, and warm light spills from within, welcoming him into the deeper cave. He strides through proudly, tapping his forehead to show his clever thinking, as distant rumbling rocks hint at the next danger. The camera soars down the new tunnel, revealing massive rocks drifting above a path marked with glowing circles on the floor. Our hero reaches a corridor where giant stones drop from the ceiling and rise again, guarding a path of glowing circles. He steps into a circle and yelps, leaping backward as a stone thuds harmlessly close, making his knees shake comically. He closes his eyes, ears perked, counting the steady thump of each stone, tapping his hoof to learn the rhythm. Now dancing with confidence, he hops precisely between circles, dodging each slow, heavy rock as they rise to let him pass. One rock drops faster than expected, and he slides on one knee beneath it, laughing breathlessly as it glides overhead. Reaching safety, he waves goodbye to the falling stones and turns toward a strange stone floor patterned like a giant grid. The camera flies upward, showing a huge checkerboard of glowing squares, some decorated with tiny red apples and numbers. The rhino examines the tiled floor, noticing apple drawings on some squares and numbers carved along the edges like clues. He steps onto a wrong square and slides back to the start, landing gently on his rump with a surprised little squeak. Frowning thoughtfully, he counts apples on each tile, realizing each row's number must match the total apples he steps on. He chooses carefully, hopping from tile to tile, forming perfect totals, while safe squares glow red and incorrect ones fade dark. On the final tile, he presses down firmly, watching a trail of shining apple symbols ripple backward along his chosen path. The floor locks safely in place, and a doorway opens ahead, leading to hovering stone platforms spinning slowly in midair. The camera swoops between spinning stone discs, showing a twisting path of rotating platforms suspended over a bottomless crystal chasm. Our rhino stares up at the spinning platforms, gulping as each disc turns, revealing only tiny safe spots to land on. He jumps too early, slips on the edge, and clings to a platform with all four hooves, eyes wide but determined. Dangling there, he studies the timing, noticing each platform slows briefly at the same angle, offering a perfect jumping moment. He springs from one platform to another with precise timing, cape swirling as he rides the spin instead of fighting it. He rolls across a final spinning disc and lands gracefully, brushing imaginary dust off his shoulders with a playful little grin. Beyond the last platform, a shimmering maze of mirror-like stone walls appears, reflecting countless rhino copies in every direction. The camera glides over the reflective maze, revealing twisting corridors where reflections multiply and only one hidden path is real. The rhino steps into the mirror maze, startled by dozens of copies of himself staring back from every shining stone wall. Is less than #0. 7 is greater than. He chases a reflection and gently bonks his snout on the mirror, rubbing it with embarrassment as the other copies mimic him. He looks down, noticing faint, dusty footprints only on one corridor, realizing the real path leaves tiny marks on the floor. Head held high, he calmly follows the dusty trail, ignoring confusing reflections and trusting the simple clues beneath his hooves. He draws arrows with his finger on visited mirrors, marking false paths, turning the maze into a puzzle he can easily read. Finding the exit, he waves back at the many reflections, then turns toward a towering staircase of uneven steps and hanging vines. The camera rises above, revealing tall stone stairs separated by gaps and jungle-like vines, swinging lazily between each uneven level. The rhino gazes up the giant staircase, each step too far apart to simply hop, vines swaying temptingly nearby like ropes. He jumps for a step, misses slightly, and ends up dangling from a vine, legs kicking wildly while he squeals in surprise. Catching his breath, he studies the rhythm of the swinging vines, realizing he can use their timing to cross wider gaps. He swings boldly from vine to vine, launching himself onto higher steps, laughter bubbling as he gains speed and fluid confidence. Close on his hooves and hands, he lands each jump cleanly, gripping the vines with growing strength and perfectly controlled momentum. At the top, he stands victorious, overlooking a glowing crystal hallway ahead that pulses with shifting colors and mysterious patterns. The camera speeds along the crystal hallway, where colored lights ripple across the walls toward a locked door of 3 shining gems. The rhino approaches the gem door, noticing red, green, and golden crystals above it, each flickering softly like a sleeping star. He taps one crystal and the hallway flashes random colors, but the door stays closed, leaving him blinking in a rainbow blur. He glances up at the ceiling reflection, seeing a faint image of the giant apple, leaves, and warm golden shine combined. Smiling, he touches crystals in order red, green, gold, matching apple, leaf, and light, while the hallway glows in harmony. The 3 gems blaze brightly together, sending a wave of warm color down the corridor as the heavy door slowly opens inward. He steps through confidently, emerging onto a ledge above a valley of floating light bubbles that drift gently in the cave air. The camera dives among the luminous bubbles, revealing clusters arranged like stepping stones, leading up toward a distant, higher platform. The rhino leans over the edge, watching glowing bubbles drift below, each one shimmering with a different brightness and softness. He steps onto a dim bubble and it pops harmlessly, dropping him gently onto another bubble before reforming with a playful sparkle. He laughs, then studies carefully, noticing brighter bubbles hold firm, while faint ones vanish quickly, revealing which ones are safe to trust. He bounds from bright bubble to bright bubble, bouncing upward like on trampolines, cape swirling as each step triggers a joyful glow. Close on his hooves, each landing compresses a bubble then springs him higher, while weaker bubbles harmlessly burst in glittering sprays. He lands on a tall stone platform and turns to see, at last, a grand cavern with a gentle stone guardian and giant apple basket. The camera circles the final cavern, revealing a friendly stone golem sitting protectively before an enormous basket of shining red apples. The rhino approaches the peaceful stone golem, who blocks the path with one giant hand while the apple basket glows behind him. He tries to sneak around, but the golem gently nudges him back, shaking its head slowly without anger, just firm kindness. He notices a carved puzzle on the golem's chest, showing 9 apples shared by 3 friends, and starts counting on his hooves. Smiling, he points 333, acting out sharing fairly. The golem's chest symbols light up, recognizing his clever and generous solution. The golem smiles warmly and steps aside, while the basket opens, apples rising in a soft glow, ready to be gratefully enjoyed. The rhino lifts one apple, takes a tiny bite, then happily offers another to the golem, proving victories are sweetest when shared. As the cave fades to starlight, our narrator whispers that real heroes use their minds, hearts, and courage to help everyone shine.